What if I told you? Everything you have ever seen, every face, every color, every memory, every moment of your entire life, has been edited by something you can't control. Not the government. Not a computer. Not artificial intelligence. Your own brain. Right now. As you're watching this video, your brain is doing something incredible. It's deleting information, changing reality, predicting the future, and filling in details that never actually existed. The terrifying part? You have absolutely no idea it's happening, because your brain doesn't want you to know. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You open your eyes. The sunlight enters your room. Your phone vibrates. Everything looks normal. Until you realize something feels different. The colors seem strange. People's faces don't look quite right. Time feels slower. The world suddenly feels unfamiliar. You panic, but nothing around you is changed. Only one thing has. Your brain has stopped editing reality. And for the first time in your life, you're seeing the world differently. Sounds like science fiction. Except, scientists now believe something astonishing. Your brain has never shown you reality exactly as it is. Instead, it builds a simplified version of reality, designed for one purpose: to keep you alive. Think about it. Every second, your eyes receive millions of pieces of information. Every sound, every smell, every movement, every shadow, every tiny change in light. If your brain processed all of it, you wouldn't be able to think. You wouldn't be able to move. You wouldn't survive. So evolution made a choice. Instead of showing you everything, it shows you only what it thinks matters most. That means the world you experience isn't the real world. It's your brain's best prediction. And once you understand how that prediction works, you'll never trust your own mind the same way again. Take a look around you. Seriously, pause for a second. Look at the room you're sitting in. It feels complete. Every object seems sharp. Every color looks real. Every detail appears to be exactly where it should be. But here's the truth. Almost everything you're experiencing right now is being invented by your brain. That sounds impossible. After all, you're looking at the world with your own eyes. So how could it be fake? Because your eyes don't actually see. They only collect light. Think of your eyes as cameras. A camera doesn't understand what it's recording. It simply captures information. Your brain is the real viewer. It receives millions of tiny electrical signals, and somehow turns them into the world you experience. But there's a problem. The human brain can only process a tiny fraction of the information reaching it every second. If it tried to process everything, every sound, every smell, every movement, every color, your mind would completely freeze. So evolution found a smarter solution. Instead of showing reality, your brain predicts reality. Every second, it's making thousands of guesses. That shadow is probably a chair. That sound is probably the wind. That face belongs to someone I know. Most of the time, those guesses are correct. But sometimes, your brain guesses wrong. And when it does, reality breaks. That's why optical illusions exist. A flat picture suddenly looks three-dimensional. A perfectly straight line appears bent. Two identical colors seem completely different. Nothing changed in the outside world. Only your brain's interpretation changed. And that's the frightening part. You don't experience reality. You experience a prediction. In fact, scientists estimate that your brain constantly fills in missing information without you noticing. There's even a blind spot in each of your eyes. A place where you literally cannot see anything. Yet you've never noticed a black hole floating in your vision. Why? Because your brain quietly paints over it, creating an image that was never actually there. Think about that. Your mind edits reality so perfectly that you never realize anything was missing. And if it can hide an entire blind spot, what else has it been hiding from you your entire life? The answer becomes even stranger, because your brain doesn't just change what you see, it changes what you remember. Now things get even stranger. Close your eyes for a moment and think about your happiest childhood memory. Maybe it's your first day at school, a birthday party, or a vacation with your family. It feels crystal clear, almost like watching a movie. But what if I told you, you're not remembering the past? You're rebuilding it, every single time. Most people imagine memory as a giant library. You store an event. Then later, You take it off the shelf. Simple. But that's not how memory works. Your brain doesn't replay the past, it recreates it. Imagine writing a story on a piece of paper, then copying it again and again and again. Soon, tiny mistakes begin to appear. A missing word, a different sentence, a completely new detail. Eventually, the copy becomes very different from the original. That's exactly what happens inside your brain. Every time you remember something, you rewrite it. Sometimes only a little. Sometimes completely. Scientists have demonstrated this in countless experiments. People have remembered meeting characters that never existed, remembered conversations that never happened, even remembered entire childhood experiences that were completely false. The most disturbing part? They weren't lying. They genuinely believed those memories were real. Because to the brain, a believable story is often more important than a perfectly accurate one. Why? Because your brain isn't trying to preserve history. It's trying to help you survive. It cares about meaning, patterns, lessons, not perfect recordings. Think about an argument you had years ago. Are you absolutely sure it happened exactly the way you remember? Or has your brain quietly edited the story, making you the hero and someone else the villain? The truth is, every memory you have has probably changed. Some, only slightly. Others, beyond recognition. Which means, the person you think you were 5 years ago might never have existed exactly the way you remember. And if your memories can change, then who are you without them? Because the next illusion is even bigger. It's happening right now, every second, without you ever noticing. Right now, there's something in front of you that you cannot see, not because it's hidden, not because it's too small, but because your brain decided it wasn't important. It happens every second. Imagine walking through a busy street. Cars are moving, people are talking, birds are flying overhead, phones are ringing, thousands of tiny events are happening all at once. Yet somehow, you experience only a tiny fraction of it. Why? Because attention is one of your brain's most limited resources. If it tried to process everything, it would collapse under the weight of information. So instead, it filters reality. Think of your brain as the world's most powerful search engine. Every second, it asks one question: what matters most right now? Everything else gets ignored. Scientists once demonstrated this with a famous experiment. A group of people watched a short video. Their task was simple: count how many times a basketball was passed. Nothing more. Most people focused completely on the passes. But while they were counting, something unbelievable happened. A person wearing a giant gorilla suit walked directly through the middle of the scene, stopped, looked at the camera, beat their chest, then walked away. And nearly half the viewers never saw the gorilla. Not because it was invisible, not because it happened too quickly, but because their brains never considered it important. Think about that. Something impossible to miss was completely erased from their conscious experience. If your brain can hide a gorilla standing right in front of you, what else has it been hiding your entire life? How many opportunities have disappeared without you noticing? How many dangers? How many beautiful moments? How many answers were filtered out before they ever reached your conscious mind? The truth is unsettling. You don't choose what enters your awareness. Your brain does, long before you even realize it. And the strangest part, it doesn't stop there. Because your brain isn't only deciding what you see, it's also deciding who you believe you are. In the next chapter, we'll question the one thing you've trusted your entire life, your own identity. For your entire life, you've believed one simple idea: that there's a you, a single person, sitting somewhere inside your head, making every decision. It feels obvious. You choose what to say, you choose where to go, you choose what to believe. But what if that feeling is also an illusion? Think about the last time someone suddenly called your name. Before you even had time to think, your head turned. When a glass begins to fall, your hand reaches out almost instantly. When you touch something hot, you pull away before you're even aware of the pain. Who made those decisions? Not your conscious mind. Your brain did, long before you caught up. Now here's where things become even stranger. Every second, your brain is processing around 11 million bits of information, but your conscious awareness? Only around 40 to 50 bits. Think about that. More than 99.999% of what your brain does happens without you ever knowing. Your heartbeat, your breathing, your balance, Your emotions, even many of your decisions, begin before you're aware of them. Have you ever driven somewhere and suddenly realized you don't remember the last 10 minutes? Your brain was still driving, still braking, still turning, while your conscious mind was somewhere else. It's almost like there's another version of you, working silently in the background, one that's faster, older, and far more powerful. The voice inside your head, the one you call me, may simply be the storyteller, not the commander. It explains your actions after they've already begun. It builds a story, so your life feels continuous, so it feels like you've always been in control. But maybe control has always been shared between the conscious mind and an ancient survival system that evolved millions of years before humans ever existed. And that leads to the biggest question of all. If your brain decides what you see, what you remember, what you notice, and even influences what you choose, then what exactly is reality? Or perhaps the better question is, who are you without your brain story? The answer changes everything. Let's go back to the question we started with. What if your brain stopped lying? Would you finally see reality exactly as it is? Probably not, because your brain was never designed to show you the truth. It was designed to keep you alive. Imagine two ancient humans walking through a forest. One notices every leaf, every insect, every tiny detail. The other notices only one thing, a pair of glowing eyes hiding in the darkness. Who survives? The one who sees reality more accurately, or the one who notices danger first? Evolution answered that question millions of years ago. It didn't reward the creatures that saw the world perfectly. It rewarded the creatures that survived. That's why your brain is constantly asking one question: will this help me stay alive? Not, is this objectively true? That's a huge difference. Fear, love, pain, happiness, even your sense of beauty. They're not random emotions, they're survival tools. Your brain creates them because, for thousands of generations, they helped your ancestors stay alive long enough to have children. In other words, your reality wasn't built for truth, it was built for survival. And suddenly, everything begins to make sense. Why memories change, why optical illusions fool you, why your attention misses obvious things, why two people can witness the exact same event, yet remember it completely differently. Neither person is seeing reality, they're seeing their brain's version of reality. And maybe that's the greatest illusion of all, because every human on Earth lives inside a slightly different world, not a different planet, a different perception. The world you experience exists inside your mind. It is a masterpiece, built by nearly 4 billion years of evolution, and somehow, that masterpiece convinced you it was reality itself. So the next time you're absolutely certain about something, a memory, an opinion, a first impression, or even what your own eyes are telling you, pause for just a second and ask yourself, am I seeing reality, or am I seeing my brain's best guess? Because the most powerful illusion you'll ever experience isn't magic, isn't technology, isn't even a dream. It's the one inside your own head, every single second. If this video changed the way you think, subscribe for more stories about psychology, evolution, and the hidden science of being human. Because sometimes, the biggest mysteries are the ones happening inside us. See you in the next video.